Hello friends, welcome to day 5 of our beginner month-long series. Today's class is more focused on strength building, but in the most basic of poses, just to get you started. Grab whatever props you think you might need. 2 blocks and a bolster or a pillow are always a good idea. And as always, if these videos are helpful for you, if you've ever liked one of my yoga classes, please go ahead and subscribe, comment, share. And I have my Venmo link listed below. If you'd like to donate, that would be amazing. I appreciate it, but I want you here either way. So let's get started in a seat. Prop your sit bones up on a pillow or a bolster if you need, or roll up a blanket, whatever you need to get comfortable. And we are going to envision our pelvis as a bowl of water. And if you haven't looked at what a pelvis looks like, go ahead and Google a photo, but 2 bones come together and it really does kind of resemble a bowl. And we're going to think about what muscles you have to engage to get that pelvic bowl to spill water out in all different directions. So you can envision a clock laying underneath, and we're going to try to spill the water out between 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So when we spill forward, we're coming into an anterior pelvic tilt of the pelvis. You might feel the muscles along the sides of your spine working. Good. And then as we dip backwards, you'll feel your core contracting more, the front line of the body. If it helps you to close your eyes and really picture that bowl of water or those muscles or that clock, go ahead and take that option. Just rocking back and forth, feeling opposite sides of your body contracting. And then let's go between a 3 and a 6 o'clock, or 9 o'clock. So now we're using muscles on the sides of the waist, our obliques, maybe some hip flexors. Maybe take it towards a diagonal now, so a 130 to a 730. Or you don't really have to think about those numbers so specifically, but maybe take some circles now. Just pay attention to what muscles are engaging to move your pelvis all around in all different directions. Just something to have fun with and work on. And it might take a while. Again, close your eyes, maybe look up a picture of what your pelvis looks like and what muscles attach on either side, and just have fun with it. Let's come to a tabletop, stacking shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. If you need a blanket to place underneath the knees, take that option. Good, and we're gonna find some modified plank and gate pose variations. So we're gonna kickstand our right foot out to the side, stretch your left leg long, and plant the inner and outer seam of the left foot down. So left toes are pivoting over to the left. Ground down through your right hand and reach your left arm up to the sky. This is a modified side plank. Try to engage your glutes to press your hips towards the long edge of the mat, towards the left. It's modified because if we were to pick our right knee up and slide it back, we're in a full side plank. But with the right knee planted, you have a little bit more support underneath your body. This is also a good place to have a block underneath your right hand to bring the ground up to you. Good, just hold for a few breaths here, feeling your points of contact into the mat. If you would like, if you want to play with it, you could pick your right knee up and maybe slide that leg straight, coming into a full side plank. And we're just holding for a few breaths. Think about drawing your lower ribs towards your hip bones a little bit, taking out any excessive arch through the low back. 3 more breaths wherever you are, whether the knee is planted or lifted. Good. Now we're going to use our core, our left obliques, to lift our shoulders to stack over our hips. So we're going to lift up towards the left. Left leg is still straight out to the side. Shoulders are stacked over right knee. And we're gonna move into a gate pose. Slide your left hand down your left leg, reach your right arm up, and then overhead. This is also a really nice side body stretch for the right side. And oftentimes, I like to move between these two poses, so we can lower right hand down, stretch left arm forward, modified side plank, and then we can lift up. Use your core to stack shoulders over pelvis, lean up and over to the left. Let's move between these two one more time. Drop right hand down, extend left fingertips forward, and then lift back up and over. Good. All right, come back to your neutral tabletop. 2 hands and 2 knees to the mat, and we'll switch it out. So kickstand your left foot out to the side, extend your right leg long, toes are pointing to the right, left hand plants, right hand reaches up, engage your glutes to drive forward, but keep the front of the core activated. Several breaths here to feel the shape. If you'd like, press down firmer through your left hand and slide your left leg straight to come into a full side plank. No need to take this option. Just if you're ready for it. 3 more breaths wherever you are. If you are in the side plank, pretend you had a little flame underneath your left side waist, and you don't want to touch that flame, so lift up a little bit higher for 1 more breath. Good. Left knee plants if it's not already. Use your right obliques to lift your shoulders to stack over your left knee. Gate pose, right hand slides down right leg, left arm reaches up and over. Breathe into the left side of the waist. Good, we'll move through these 2 shapes. Again, if you want a block underneath the left hand, it's a good option. Lower left hand down, extend right fingertips long, modified side plank. Lift up and over to the right gate pose. Good, 1 more time of each. Lower down, stretch long and forward. Engage the right side body to lift you up and over. Good. Come back to your tabletop pose. Tuck your toes under. If you want to take this option, we're going to lift our knees just to a hover off the mat, a hovering tabletop. So as you're ready for it, tuck the toes, lift your knees to a hover, push the ground away, round through the back body. Weight is through the index finger and thumb. Good. Lower back down. Bring your right hand to tap your left shoulder. So now we're just supported on 3 limbs. Feel that shift in the balance, how your body wants to dip down towards the right shoulder to drop. Instead, push the ground away with left hand. Shoulders are stacked and even. Lower right hand down. Bring left hand to right shoulder. Again, tendency is to drop the left shoulder down. Push the right hand into the mat to even out those shoulders. Good, left hand down. Weight is into your left knee. This time extend right leg long behind you. A balancing table. Engaging the right glute and hamstring to lift the right heel in line with your hip. Lower right knee down. Extend left leg long behind you. Nice long line of energy from the crown of your head through your left heel. And don't let the body arch or sway or dip. We're nice and solid and stable through the center line of the body. Lower left knee down. We'll go through that again, and if you would like, we will do it in a hovering position. So if you need the knees grounded, totally take that option. If you're ready for a little bit of a progression, tuck your toes, hover your knees off the mat. Good. Bring right hand to left shoulder. Just a breath or 2 here. Full body strength. Good, lower right hand down, left hand to right shoulder. Lower back down. Lift your right leg from the mat. You can curl your heel in towards your glute or extend it long behind you. Lower down, and then left leg lifts. Either bending your knee or straightening your knee. Lower down. All right. Play with those on your own. throughout the rest of your day, just a couple times to feel them out in your body. Also a good idea to record yourself just to make sure you're not coming into a cat-cow or dipping or swaying too much. All right, let's lower down onto our bellies. We talked about this next drill a little bit when we were going through our sun salutation A's and B's. We're gonna do a few rounds of a baby cobra lift off. So from your belly, zip your inner thighs together and your big toes into touch. Hands come by the sides of your ribs. On an in-breath, push the tops of your feet into the mat. Tighten your quads to lift your kneecaps. And then use the muscles around the back body to lift your heart up and forward. So in this position, if you lift your hands off the mat, theoretically you should stay in about the same spot, meaning the arms aren't propping you up, you're using your strength in your back body. So inhale here, exhale to lower, forehead can rest. Inhale, lift up, heart forward, kneecaps from the mat, hands from the mat. Exhale, lower. 3 more with your breath. Even if you lift just a little millimeter off the mat, just finding those muscles to contract. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good, option to stay with those, or we'll move to a pose called Shalabhasana, locust pose, where our arms and our legs are gonna lift from the mat. So same alignment of the legs, inner thighs into touch, toes are pointing back behind you. This time your arms are gonna extend long behind you as well. Hands can point, palms can point up to the sky or in towards the middle. On an in-breath, lift your legs from that, even up towards the thighs. Stretch your fingertips back and reach your heart forward and up. So completely engage through the whole line of the back body. We'll stay here a couple breaths. Think about lifting long just as much as you think about lifting up. So it's like you're being stretched in opposite directions and then you're skydiving. So you find some buoyancy underneath you, lifting you up. 2 more breaths. And exhale, release. Good. All right, we're gonna come to a seat and extend your lungs in front of you, your legs long. We're gonna find a couple boat pose variations. This is called Navasana. It's a good front core muscle engager, strengthener. So the full expression of the pose is really tough and I can't really hold it that long. It's where your legs are straight, toes are pointed up, and your arms are reaching overhead. To get to that point, there's a million different progressions. Basically, the closer your limbs are towards your body, the easier, and the more points of contact with the mat you have, the easier it is. So if you want, you can start with both feet planted on the mat, even fingertips back behind you for support. Just energetically think about pulling your knees in towards your chest, and that'll turn on the muscles on the front of the core. If you want to make it easier, lift your hands and bring them to heart center. If you want to make it a little harder, you can reach your arms overhead or back behind you, or hands can come back to the center. You can lift 1 foot off the mat, bringing your shin towards a parallel shape, and then lower. Lift your opposite foot, pointing your toes forward and lower. Let's do a couple of those. Inhale to lift left foot. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift right foot. Exhale, lower. 1 more time on each side. Instead of crunching and curling your shoulders in, think of having a bit of a proud chest, rolling your shoulders on the back body. Right leg lifts. Exhale to lower. If you want to take it up a step, hands at heart center, lift both feet at the same time. Or you can bring them a bit higher, placing them on a block. That makes things a little bit more challenging. So tons of progressions here. Like I said, the closer you are in towards your body, the easier, and the more points of contact with the mat you have, it's easier. Let's hold whatever position you choose for 5 breaths. As you're ready, lift your hands and your feet to whatever notch felt like a good challenge for you. For 4 more breaths. For 3, for 2, and 1. Release, lay all the way down onto your back. Good, we're gonna find some bridge lifts. Bridge is called Setu Bandhasana. Walk your feet in close towards your bottom. Kneecaps are pointing up towards the sky. Find your rib cage and find your pelvis, and try to make them so they're at relatively even heights. So don't really open up the rib cage and arch the low back too much, and don't really curl your sit bones off the mat too much. Nice neutral alignment. Press down through your feet, and then lift your hips up towards the sky. So glutes are engaged, hamstrings are engaged. If you want a little bit more activation, you can energetically pull your heels underneath your bottom, and that will really turn on the hamstrings. Good. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. 3 more. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. 2 more. Good, lower down. We're gonna find a hold for this last one. And if you want a little addition as a reminder to not let your knees splay open to the side, you can put a block or really anything in between your inner thighs and squeeze together. So as you're ready, push down through your feet, lift your hips up towards the sky, and squeeze your inner thighs together. 5 breaths here. Hands can be pushing down into the mat, or they can be on your body for a little bit of feedback there. 2 more breaths. Good, release down. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe rock side to side, giving your low back a massage. And then as you're ready, come up to a seat. And those are our basic strength moves for the back body, the front body, the side body. Please play around with the different variations of those. Find what feels like a good challenge. Hopefully that provided a bunch of modifications for you. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow will be our vinyasa class where we learn to link breath with movement a little bit more. So we will, at pace, go through our sun A's and our sun B's. So I hope to see you there. Thank you.